Welcome to Channel, my friends. A young girl, barely 14 years old, alone in a rundown house in Milwaukee, gives birth to a premature baby boy in the dead of night. The child doesn't survive. Whispers spread through the family. Some call it tragedy. Others, something darker. She buries the secret deep, carries the weight for years, and rises to become one of the most powerful women on the planet. But what really happened that night? And how did that one moment, among so many shattering ones, fuel a journey that would touch millions? Friends, if you're watching this, lean in. This isn't just another success story. This is the real, raw, unfiltered life of Oprah Winfrey. A tale so layered with pain, resilience, mystery, and triumph that once you start, you won't want to pause. Today, the unbreakable thread, Oprah's journey to empowerment, we'll uncover the early years that nearly broke her and the first sparks of the fire that would light up the world. By the end, you'll see why her story isn't about luck. It's about choosing to rise no matter what. And trust me, what comes next in her path will leave you questioning everything you think you know about second chances. Let's go back to the beginning. January 29, 1954, Kosciuszko, Mississippi, a place where cotton fields stretched under a wide sky, and opportunities for a black child born into poverty were as thin as the morning mist. Oprah Gail Winfrey entered the world to a teenage mother, Vernita Lee, who was just 18. Her father, Vernon Winfrey, was a barber and coal miner in Nashville. Absent at first, a steady hand later. Those early years on her grandmother Hattie Mae's farm weren't glamorous, but they planted seeds. Grandmother taught her to read by age 3, reciting Bible verses at church. Neighbors still talk about the little girl who could speak with the poise of an adult.
But life shifted fast. At 6, Oprah moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother. The inner city apartment was cramped. Her mother worked long hours as a housemaid. And in those long, unsupervised days, darkness crept in. From the age of 9 to 13, Oprah endured repeated sexual abuse by male relatives and a family friend. She kept silent, like so many do, carrying shame that no child should ever know. At 13, she ran away. Juvenile detention turned her away because there were no beds. Sent back, the cycle continued. Then came that shocking night at 14. Pregnant from the abuse, she gave birth to a son who lived only weeks. The loss was devastating. For decades, Oprah spoke little of it publicly. Some family accounts differ. Whispers of circumstances, the emotional toll. She is described feeling profound guilt and isolation. That baby's death became a turning point, though she didn't see it then. She channeled the pain into determination. I was raised with the idea that there is a power greater than myself, she would later say. That belief became her anchor. Her father, Vernon, stepped up decisively. He took her to Nashville. Absent at first, a steady hand later. Those early years on her grandmother Hattie Mae's farm were glamorous, but they planted seeds. Grandmother taught her to read by age 3, reciting Bible verses at church. Neighbors still talk about the little girl who could speak with the poise of an adult. But life shifted fast. At 6, Oprah moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother. The inner city apartment was cramped. Her mother worked long hours as a housemaid. And in those long, unsupervised days, darkness crept in. From the age of 9 to 13, Oprah endured repeated sexual abuse by male relatives and a family friend. She kept silent, like so many do, carrying shame that no child should ever know. At 13, she ran away. Juvenile detention turned her away because there were no beds. Sent back, the cycle continued. Then came that shocking night at 14. Pregnant from the abuse, she gave birth to a son who lived only weeks. The loss was devastating. For decades, Oprah spoke little of it publicly. Some family accounts differ. Whispers of circumstances, the emotional toll. She is described feeling profound guilt and isolation. That baby's death became a turning point, though she didn't see it then. She channeled the pain into determination. I was raised with the idea that there is a power greater than myself, she would later say. That belief became her anchor. Her father, Vernon, stepped up decisively. He took her to school. Vernon followed in 1986. The show became a phenomenon, blending entertainment, interviews, and self-improvement. Viewers saw themselves in her, vulnerable yet strong. But success brought new pressures. The industry was cutthroat. Oprah faced racism, sexism, and skepticism about her weight and style. She didn't hide her struggles. She shared them. That vulnerability built a bond with audiences across ages, from young dreamers in small towns to middle-aged folks seeking meaning, to elders reflecting on life's battles. Interwoven in her rise were lessons in English and communication that we can all learn from. Oprah mastered the power of precise language. Words like resilience weren't just vocabulary, they were lived. She taught viewers the difference between surviving and thriving. Simple phrases delivered with clarity and emotion moved hearts. As a narrator today, I urge you, practice speaking your truth aloud. Record yourself. Refine your words. Oprah turned personal pain into universal connection through masterful storytelling. Financially, too, she was learning. Early salaries were modest, but she negotiated smarter deals. By owning more of her show, she laid groundwork for independence. No silver spoon here. As the 1980s closed, Oprah's empire expanded. She starred in The Color Purple in 1985, earning an Oscar nomination. Critics praised her raw performance as Sophia. Yet, even in Hollywood, rejection stung. She poured that into her work. Here's where the story deepens. Amid the fame, Oprah confronted her past more openly. The abuse revelations, the lost child, these weren't just backstory. They fueled her mission, empowering others, especially women and girls, to break cycles. Her book club launched, turning obscure titles into bestsellers, promoting literacy worldwide. But not everything was public. There were quiet battles with self-doubt, weight fluctuations that tabloids exploited, and industry betrayals. She trusted her instincts when others doubted. That unexpected pregnancy and loss at 14, it taught her the fragility of life and the strength in reinvention. She often says it redirected her energy toward purpose. As episode 1 closes, picture this. Oprah, now a household name, sits in her studio, interviewing everyday people with the same warmth she once craved as a child. Her show reaches millions. Yet, behind the lights, bigger decisions loom. A pivotal contract negotiation is coming, one that will redefine media ownership. Will she risk everything for control? And what hidden family truths and personal revelations are about to surface that will test her like never before? The iron rod of fate hasn't finished its work. Stay with me into episode 2, where the stakes rise, the empire builds, and one bold move changes television forever. You won't believe how close she came to losing it all. Again. Oprah Winfrey's life. Born in poverty in Mississippi, 1954, to teenage mother. Early years on grandmother's farm learning to read. Moved to Milwaukee at 6, endured years of sexual abuse by relatives from age 9 to 13. Ran away at 13, returned, became pregnant at 14 from abuse. Gave birth to premature son who died soon after. Sent to live with Father Vernon in Nashville for structure. Excelled in school, started radio TV career young. Became news anchor at 19. Struggled in news, moved to talk shows. Took over low-rated AM Chicago in 1984. Syndicated nationally in 1986. Starred in Color Purple, launched book club, Harpo Productions. Overcame weight issues, public scrutiny, industry racism, sexism. Built media empire through ownership and authenticity. Philanthropy focused on education, empowerment. Key themes: resilience after trauma, power of vulnerability and words, financial independence via smart deals, turning pain into purpose. Multiple twists: family secrets, career risks, personal health battles, evolving public image. Ends with ongoing legacy of influence and giving back. True events only, sourced from biographies and her own accounts.
Last time, we left young Oprah rising like a phoenix from Milwaukee's shadows, her talk show conquering Chicago, her past traumas forging an unbreakable will. But just as the world celebrated her, a new storm brewed. What if I told you that at the height of her early success, Oprah faced a contract that could have trapped her forever or set her free in ways no one imagined? And buried in her family history was a revelation so surprising it would reshape how she saw her own identity. Owning the narrative. The syndication of The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986 catapulted her into the stratosphere. Millions tuned in daily. She interviewed presidents, celebrities, and ordinary heroes. Episodes on topics like self-esteem, relationships, and personal finance resonated deeply. For our global English-speaking audience,
Whether you're a young professional in London building your career, a middle-aged parent in Toronto seeking balance, or a retiree in Sydney reflecting on legacy, Oprah modeled how clear communication lifts lives. She used simple, powerful English, short sentences for impact, stories over statistics. Lesson 1: in any language, authenticity wins. Practice narrating your day. It builds confidence like hers. Financial growth was deliberate. Early on, she earned solid pay, but saw the industry's inequities. In 1988, she founded Harpo Productions. This was revolutionary. The third woman in U.S. entertainment to own her studio, after Mary Pickford and Lucille Ball. Owning her content meant controlling destiny. No more network bosses dictating terms. A pivotal moment came during the Color Purple filming. Tensions over vacation time highlighted the need for leverage. Her attorney advised trading salary guarantees for ownership stakes. She took the risk. It paid enormously. By the 1990s, her net worth soared into hundreds of millions. But it wasn't overnight. She reinvested wisely, avoided flashy traps, focused on value creation. For viewers learning financial literacy, start small. Own your assets. Negotiate fiercely. Oprah's story proves compound growth applies to careers too. Yet mystery lingered in her personal life. Publicly strong, she battled weight in private, yo-yo dieting under media glare. Tabloids were relentless. She shared journeys openly, turning vulnerability into connection. In 1992, she met Stedman Graham. Their relationship, steady yet private, offered stability. Then, a family shock. DNA tests later in life revealed more half-siblings she never knew, complicating her sense of roots. A cousin's claims and hidden relatives surfaced, adding layers to her identity. These revelations, handled with grace, reinforced her message of chosen family and self-worth. The show evolved. Controversial episodes on addiction, abuse, and empowerment